I definitely think that the hardest thing about guided reading is probably the management piece. Being able to manage 31 students who are working independently and then pulling 4 or 5 of them to work on a skill. 2 things are happening. So it's really important getting that independent work time piece in place. The most important thing is explicitly teaching your procedures. So go ahead, take responsibility. You know, my students know where the reading workstation bins are located. They know how to use them and then also how to put them back. How to transition from the rug to the bean bags or to your desk. What do you do if you have a question? Or what do you do if you have to go to the bathroom? And so I feel like my students are very clear about what guided reading should look like, sound like, feel like.
Her parents said they wouldn't let her stay up past midnight. She did her best.
And we do many lessons, just talking about it, practicing it, and reflecting on it. Thank you to all those scholars who gave me their eyes. Like how even scholars on the carpet, putting down their pencils, giving me their full attention. Every single system, procedure, workstation was absolutely directly taught, where we modeled it, there was a guided practice where we all practiced it, and then independently I was like, okay, and now I'm gonna watch you do it. And so I started out the year with just teaching them what is silent reading, what does it look like, what does it sound like, what does it feel like, and then we practiced that. And then once I see that scholars are taking responsibility and know how to use that workstation, we keep on adding more and more. Today, I'm going to teach you one more workstation. Do I have a volunteer to help me model how you would do this workstation with a partner? Juliana, you want to do it? Okay, come on, sweetie. And so I can be the reader, and Juliana, you can be in charge of the timer, okay? So when I start, then go ahead and press start, okay? I model it with another student.
Every day in places around the world.
So it's super clear about what should it look like when I'm at this workstation, and then we practice that. And I did not start meeting with guided reading groups until all the students could prove to me that they could work independently for that 1 hour of time without me. And once they were able to demonstrate to me that, okay, we're able to rotate to these different workstations, then I was like, okay, now we're ready. Now I can finally begin pulling groups. You would think that scholars would know what you meant when you say, walk quietly to your seat and take out your blue classwork folder, but that's not necessarily the case.
Thank you, Nyla and Deani are ready. They're giving the quiet signal.
And so in order to make sure that we're using our time most efficiently, all of those transitions were explicitly taught and practiced.
And once you are done with all those must-dos, then you will do the may-dos.
So after the mini lesson, I made sure that the directions were really clear about what they were going to do next. Okay, scholars, when I say go, you're going to take out your blue classwork folders. Okay? Go. They all transition to their seats. They know immediately to take out their blue classwork folders because that's where all of their must-dos and guided reading work is, and to immediately begin.
There you go.
And then once I see that the class is like in that mode, then I know, okay, I'm ready to pull the first guided reading group. I normally use the bell, and I'll just ring it 3 times, and then I call whatever guided reading group. Thank you, scholars, for all those who gave me their eyes. Can I have my first guided reading group, Redwood, please come to my table with all of their guided reading materials? And then those scholars know to bring their guided reading notebook, their blue folder, their guided reading book, and a pencil. And they know to come to me like prepared and ready to go. You ready, Rayla? You look ready, sir. Thank you.
I'm gonna keep you.
I really emphasize to my scholars that during guided reading, it's really important that the teacher isn't interrupted unless there's an emergency.
I think that
And we did a big talk about why it's so important not to interrupt that time, because we call it our knowledge for college time. Scholars are getting help, and how frustrating is it when a million other scholars are lining up and they have questions and all these things. And so scholars know not to verbally interrupt me. It makes the job so much easier. Our Readers Workshop time is up. Can scholars please make sure that all workstations are carefully put away on the rug, and scholars are showing me they're ready to go to lunch. Let's see how quickly and quietly we can do this. Go!